working hard, and we're going to see some great results in the next few days. I want to take the time now to introduce Pam Bondi, and she will be our first speaker tonight. Pam.
If you haven't voted, get out and vote. That's what this is about for all of us. And probably all of you have voted. Get your neighbors, get your friends, get your family, tell everyone, get out and vote. That's what's so important. Because we need Rick Scott in Washington, D.C. And let me tell you why. Something came out recently that's very troubling to me. And this is how long Bill Nelson has been around. In 1989, he had a home, and it was assessed in D.C. at $1.4 million. He sold it. During this time, he was running against Lawton Childs in the primary. That's how far back this guy goes, okay? He was saying he needed his campaign manager more money to put in his campaign. Then suddenly, a Lebanese business tycoon buys it for $3.4 million.
How?
Miraculously, a lot of that money went straight into Bill Nelson's campaign and the rest in Bill Nelson's pocket. Then, that businessman sold it at a tremendous loss. He has since been assassinated, and Bill Nelson still keeps in touch with the guy's family. He needs to explain that, and he refuses to address that. Sean Hannity asked me the other night, Pam, tell me something Bill Nelson's done in office. I said, I can tell you 300 things. He's voted for higher taxes at least 300 times. And that's why we need Rick Scott. Rick has turned our state around. Every single Floridian knows what our great governor and our first lady, by the way, his secret, not so secret weapon, who we love so much. They've done so much for our state. Our state is in the black with an excess of money, thanks to you, Governor. Thank you. He said he was going to bring 1 million jobs, and he's brought millions. He has done so much for our economy, for our state, and I have been blessed to work side by side with him for 8 years. No one has worked harder in this state than Rick Scott, and no one will work harder for you in Washington, D.C. He will be up there representing Floridians, not himself. And that's why we need to get Rick Scott in the Senate. This is one of the most important races in our lifetime. I firmly believe that, this election cycle. So please join me in welcoming my dear friends, Ann Scott, and our next U.S. Senator, Rick Scott.
Well, first, it's great to be here. I want to thank Tom Pepin for the opportunity to use this facility for this event. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I think we have 5 days to work to get votes out, and then we've got to make sure they all get out by the 6th day. And that's what we're doing. We're crossing the state, and all of us are working hard to make sure we have a big win. I want to start with thanking Pam Bondi. Pam and I got elected together. We had never run for office before, and I remember reading about Pam, and I remember the first event I met her at. I talked to her then 27-year-old daughter to go into an event with me, and the kicker was, I said, "Do you get to meet Pam Bondi? She's going to be there." And but Pam's been a great partner. If you think about it, we've added 1.6 million jobs. We have gone from 80 million tourists to 125 million tourists. We've done all sorts of these things. But part of the reason we've been able to do it is because I've had a partner in the Attorney General's office. She made sure we enforced the law. So we enforced the law against if somebody was doing the wrong thing. But if they didn't, she tried to promote business, and it allowed us to help recruit more companies here. Think about what she's done with law enforcement. If we wouldn't have all these jobs, we wouldn't have the 125 million tourists we're going to have this year, if people didn't believe the state was safe. And Pam Bondi's been a leader at that. She's been a leader in the pill mills, getting rid of the pill mills. She's been a leader in trying to stop fentanyl, the drug trafficking, human trafficking. So Pam's going to be sorely missed. We both finished our existing jobs in about, 70 days or something? But she has done an unbelievable job, and I know she's going to continue to go on to be a leader, not just in Florida, but around the country, because that's what she's become over the last 8 years. So Pam, thank you for your friendship, and thank you for the introduction. I want to thank my wife for being with me today. So we got married when we were 19 years old. She married me because I was making so much money. I think I was an E2 in the Navy, and I think I was probably making about $150 a month. And but she put up with me trying all these things in my life. When I said to her the other day, "Don't you wish you just married somebody that didn't have to go try to do things all the time?" Fortunately, she said no. This had been worked out. So we've been blessed. We have 2 daughters and 6 grandsons. And I could tell you, I think every grandparent could do this, tell us so many grandparent stories. But we got to listen to them tell us what they're going to be for Halloween, because they're 6 to 14 months. The twins at 14 months were salt and pepper. But we've been blessed, and we've been able to enjoy being governor and first lady. And Ann has gotten to do a lot of good things for a lot of families. But it's nice to be able to travel together today, because we're not able to do it all the time. Jim, thank you for your hard work. You know, we're gonna do really well here because of the team you put together and all the energy you've created. So thank you for doing that. And if you look around the state right now, we're doing well. We have more Republicans than Democrats voting. We are doing really well. I think we're clearly going to have big wins on Tuesday. We're going to have Ron DeSantis is going to be our next governor. Ashley Moody's going to be our next Attorney General. Jimmy Petronis will be our next CFO. And Matt Caldwell is going to be our next Ag Commissioner. But we've got some other races that are important. We've got Ross Spano here. We've had the opportunity to work together for, I think, 6 years, right? When you do this job, by the way, it's a whirlwind job as governor. But we've had the opportunity to do a lot of good things together, cut taxes, reduce regulation, focus on how we have more school choice. He's been a big partner with PAMS on human trafficking. He's done a lot of great things. Comes from, has built a wonderful family, and we wish you all the luck in the world and all the success in your race. And we got George Buck. Yeah, George. We're going to have another big win. An individual that has not done this before, right? But has a great background, and will go up there. Believes in things we believe in: limited government, less taxes, less regulation. Remember, it's our money; it's not somebody else's money, and so you're going to have a big win. Thank you. And there's some other important races here. I know Tom Lee's running and Danny Young's running, and they got to win. We got to win all these. Jack Toledo. We got a lot of other races. We got to win these races. If you don't think these elections matter, let me give you just a quick story. In 2010, I got elected. Governor Malloy got elected in Connecticut. Look at the difference of what's happened in these 2 states. Look at what's happened up there. Value homes have gone down because jobs have gone away. All right, we've added 1.6 million jobs. They're not adding jobs up there. They're increasing their debt. They're increasing their taxes. So people are just leaving all the time. And we've been able to recruit a lot of those businesses that come to Florida. So these elections matter. If you go out and elect somebody that's going to believes in higher taxes, you're getting them. They'll figure out how to do it to you. They're going to take your money and they're going to figure out how to spend your money. They'll figure it out. So you've got to support people that believe in less government, lower taxes. It's your money, less regulation, and we'll get more jobs. Now, the first thing people ask me is, why would you go through this? Why would you run for office? Because all of us that run for office, it's mean-spirited sometimes. Not ever towards me, but other people. But if you think about it, we all are who we are, and we run probably because of the way we grew up. In 2010, you saw some ads with my mom. She seemed like a wonderful person. She seemed like a really sweet lady. She was as tough as nails as a parent. She had a plan. She said, "You're going to be an Eagle Scout. You're going to make straight A's. You're going to go to church all the time." I said, "I went to church in the morning and at night." I said, "Mom, there's nobody like you." She says, "I don't care. Go get a job. There's no money." My mom got divorced when I was born. We lived in public housing, but she was absolutely committed to all the kids in my family being successful. She said, "You live in the greatest country in the world. It is up to you. There is no limit. You can be anything you want to be. If you want to work hard, you want to study hard, you can be anything you want to be." And that's true. And I ran in 2010 because that was becoming untrue in our state. This state in 4 years lost 832,000 jobs. Think of that. Somebody went from getting a paycheck to no money. No money. No money. Think about that. Now they don't pay the rent, they pay the mortgage, put food on the table. I watched my mom go through that. I watched her worry about putting food on the table. That's a horrible life. I watched my adopted dad's car get repossessed. That was going on all across our state. So I ran on a plan to get the state back to work, and we've done it. All of us together that have been elected over the last 8 years, we've focused on how we make it better for every family. If you think about what a typical family cares about, 3 things. They want a job. I don't talk to people that say, oh gosh, I want to be on unemployment. No, they want to get a job. Number 2, they're scared to death is how good is the education system going to be for their kid? Or in our case, our grandkids. Because they know that's the dream of this country. Well, in Florida, we have, according to the U.S. News Report, #1 higher education system in the country. K-12 education, for like probably 5th, 5th, or 6th years in a row, highest funding ever of state funding, $4.5 billion annualized increase, and now we're the only state with student achievement gains last year in the country. So you can get a good education. Number 3, 47-year low in our crime rate. Starts with Pam Bondi, we have Sheriff Cronister and others. We are on a roll. Now I have a plan to go to Washington and do the same thing we've done here. We've got to change the direction of Washington, D.C. We've got to say, why should they be able to raise their taxes willy-nilly? Why shouldn't the president have a line-on veto like I had as governor? Why shouldn't they have to work? I'll give you an example. Bill Nelson can vote to shut down government. He can vote against a budget and still get paid. You can't do that and there's no other job like that. You can say, I want everybody else to get hurt, but I get paid. No, you can't do that. You shouldn't be able to do that. So now here's the choice. The choice between Bill Nelson and me is real simple. I got asked in an interview the other day, what's the biggest difference? I work, he doesn't. The guy's been up there, he's been elected for 42 years, and you can't name anything he's done, except, like Pam said, he's raised our taxes. He's voted for higher taxes over 300 times. Right? Think about this. He doesn't believe we ought to have a secure border. So he believes we ought to have a catch-and-release program. You come across the border, you're immediately released. Well, tell me how that's border security. Right? Look, we have a caravan coming here right now. Shouldn't we vet who comes to our country? Yes. We want immigrants. We're the best melting pot in the country, Florida is. I mean, we have 250 languages spoken, 47-year low in our crime rate. Look at our education system. But shouldn't we vet who comes into our country? We should. We have to have secure borders. The guy don't promise anything. He promises, oh, he'll do something about the environment, and he does nothing about the environment. He does nothing. Think about this. He's on a committee that's responsible for dealing with things like ISIS and Al-Qaeda. He doesn't show up 45% of the time to the Armed Service Committee. The guy is not a worker, and he has no plan to get anything done. He's never gotten anything done. He sits. I heard that he went and did an event over at the Space Coast. He said nothing when Barack Obama shut down manned flight. He said nothing. He's never stood up for this state, ever, in the 42 years he's been elected. So we have an opportunity to have somebody that's going to go to Washington and work their butt off. And all of us that are running, we are workers. All of us have had jobs and work our butts off to try to make it better for everybody in this state. I love my family. I know every family loves their family. They want their family to be successful. That's what we're all going to do. We all get elected together. We're going to go change the direction of Washington, D.C. Now, our 6-year-old grandson said, how do you win an election, Grandpa? I said, I get more votes than the other guy. It's as simple as that. So we've got to get more votes. Everybody's got to talk to everybody about voting. We've got, right now, we still have mail-in. We've got early voting in every county in this state. Get out and vote. Call your friends. Do not vote by yourself. Call your friends, call your neighbors, send an email, get everybody to the polls, and tell them the importance of this election. This is about the future direction of our country and our state. So, thanks everybody for being here. We're going to have a big win on Tuesday. I always win by landslide. Have a great day. Bye-bye.